A Chinese Coast Guard cutter surges in, orders a U.S. destroyer to turn now. The destroyer refuses. Sensors light up, radars hum, stations manned. No shots, just steel nerves. What happens next isn't luck. It's doctrine. Watch how a calm, full defensive posture and a quiet line, "We will not be coerced," flip the script in the most contested water on Earth. Stay with me as we break down the exact moves that turned an intimidation run into a miscalculation, and why that matters for every future pass in the South China Sea. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Why would a destroyer hold course when a cutter is charging hard and barking orders to turn now? Because the safest move under pressure is often the least dramatic. Because predictability is a shield. And because the law rewards the ship that stays steady.
So we do a lot of ship tracking. We try to keep up with where China is deploying, in particular China is deploying its maritime militia in China. This is all the Philippines' legal exclusive economic zone. And you've also got some Chinese maritime militia coming down from the north to add to this first line of defense that's formed here.
First contact comes fast. A Chinese Coast Guard hull angles in and eats the range, loud on the radio, calling for an immediate course change in international waters. The U.S. destroyer does not speed up. It doesn't swing wide. It answers on the standard calling channel with calm, precise bridge-to-bridge language that states position, intention, and status. No chest beating. Just a clear record. The cutter surges to intimidate. Bow spray kicks up. The range shrinks. On the American bridge, no one raises a voice. The order lands, full defensive posture. Not a turn. Not a throttle push. A posture. That word matters. What does that look like in steel and sweat? Combat systems warmed. Spy-class radar mode stepped up, with tighter dwell on low, fast targets and surface search sharpened for small hulls cutting across the bow. Electronic support measures come alive, sniffing for emissions, sorting pings from navigation radars, data links, and any odd burst that hints at targeting. Lookout sectors double, eyes assigned by bearing and elevation, binoculars up, laser rangefinders at hand. Collision alarms are set quiet so the ship hears the outside world, not its own panic. The helm holds to ordered course and speed. A steady hand on a steady line. Warships have a playbook for non-kinetic resolve. They follow service policies on AIS, either transmitting permission guidance or logging a deliberate non-transmit stance while announcing intent by voice. They hail on the international calling channel so every merchant in earshot can hear the exchange, building a public ledger in real time. They use sound signals within call regs, 1 short for a port alteration, 5 short to mark danger, and they set deck posture that reads ready without flashing weapons. Helmets on. Cameras up. Boat crews at stations, not slamming hatches. It's a language, and it says, "We are here, we are safe, we are not yielding to a claim you cannot enforce."
This is Chinese Naval Warship 552.
The second line of defense has already formed back here. I mean, if China decides they're not getting through, they're not getting through.
Violating China's terror airspace. Leave now. Leave immediately.
You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards.
Donald Trump has already withdrawn security guarantees for America's allies in Europe.
Meanwhile, the ship splits the brain. On the bridge, the con keeps a COLREGS-compliant track, scans bearings, and clocks target angles on bow. In the Combat Information Center, controllers paint every contact, assign threat sectors, and confirm rules of engagement so no one guesses under stress. Surface plots update. Closest point of approach calculations run on loop. The link chat stays clean. It's discipline over adrenaline. That wins. International maritime law backs the calm. The collision rules lean hard toward steady course and speed so you don't create a new hazard while dodging a shouted order with no legal weight. In plain terms, don't yank the wheel to satisfy an unlawful demand, because that swerve can spark the very danger the rules are built to prevent. The law favors the ship that stays predictable. The cutter expects a flinch, a heel over, a horn blast of apology. It doesn't get one. Instead, the destroyer hardens the sensor bubble, tidies the wake, and makes itself easy to pass. Predictable is hard to bully. Aggression feeds on chaos, discipline starves it. You can feel the clock stretch in those last cables of approach. CIC checks that no one drifts a finger toward a switch that would signal escalation. Bridge keeps voice calm, repeats the standard call, logs time and bearing.
That records and publicizes Chinese ship movements in the disputed areas. Sea Light has charted a massive build-up since the summer of 2023. He now runs a maritime monitoring unit at Stanford University.
Cameras capture hull numbers, angles, and any move that brushes the line. A helicopter orbit would be a loud signal, but the deck team holds for the right cue, not the dramatic shot. The point is deterrence, not theater. And then the mini payoff. No contact. No scrape of paint. The destroyer never budges off its lawful lane. The cutter peels a few degrees, blustering on the radio while the recorders take everything, second by second. The US voice stays professional. The attempt to coerce lands on tape as an attempt, not a win. But then the radar picture shifts. New friendlies light the scope, more blue tracks snapping into the net, air and surface, and the math changes. With allies in the plot, lanes open, coverage overlaps, and the cutter's leverage bleeds away as the formation firms up for the next move. Tactical deterrence lives in quiet moves. Hold course. Light sensors. Record everything. You push the burden of escalation back onto the aggressor and keep the sea safe for the next transit. That's measured escalation in practice, calculated signals that say ready and capable without firing a shot, aligned with professional seamanship and stability. What would you do, yield to a risky demand or lock in a clean, defensible posture? Comment your choice below, and subscribe if you want more hard analysis of real-world naval brinkmanship. Today's restraint is tomorrow's stability. The side that keeps its head shapes the fight without firing, and that steady hand writes the log.